everybody, welcome to a special feature on the Mana Leak. I'm John, as always, and it's release weekend for Dragons of Tarkir, and that means I've got a box of Dragons of Tarkir boosters sitting here. We've got Nicol Bolas and Sarkon watching over, and we're going to open this box up and crack 36 packs and see what we get. I'm going to be quickly going through, all of the chaff, the commons, non-commons, but I'll be showing off each of the rares and each of the foils that I happen to get. But let's crack on into this box. Alright, the camera's been adjusted. Let's crack on into this box. Here we go with pack number 1. In pack number 1, we're walking away with a Dragon Tempest. Not terribly exciting, unfortunately. Just not a card that I really like. But hey, it could have casual appeal for years to come. Who knows? Pack number 2. My favorite card, Ojutai's Command. I really hate this card. In Limited anyways, sorry, in Limited. In Constructed, I think it's going to have some play, but in Limited, I think it's just kind of eh. Now this does make my 4th copy of this, and it's just launch weekend. I have 2 regular, promo pre-release one, and a promo buy a box. But we also got a foil. Is it an exciting one? No, it's a Sib Sig Icebreakers, but hey, a foil's a foil, eh? Next up, we get a foiled Custodian of the Trove. Not terribly exciting. And the rare, it's black, I see. It's a Pitiless Horde. That did a lot of work for me at pre-release, actually. Not a terribly exciting rare, but, useful limited card if I was playing with these cards instead of opening them. Next up, Arishan Foremost. Arishan Foremost, again, not terribly exciting. Decent card in Limited, and I think it could have some constructed play. It all depends on if Black-White Warriors finally becomes an actual constructed deck. Who knows if it actually will or not. I'm not entirely sold that that's going to be a powerful enough deck to be sort of a tier 1 competitive kind of thingy. Next up, we have an uncommon. There we go. There's a mythic Ojutai Exemplars. Pretty solid. I believe that's about $10. And a really, really, really good card anyways. Just the several different modes on it. In Constructed, unlike in Limited, you're going to have an awful lot of non-creature spells to be activating the fake prowess on this guy. He's a pretty solid pickup, I think. Damnable Pack is the next card in our pack. It's an interesting card. It's not quite Sphinx's Revelation, but it can be used as a kill spell if you're that desperate. But ultimately, I just don't think this is a great card. It could have a place in Commander or some sort of casual thing. Maybe even in Cube, who knows. Suicide Black could maybe want some card draw or things like that. We have a foil. Silumgar Spell Eater. It's kind of an interesting foil. I kind of like that because I think this potentially has some cube playability or things like that. It's not going to see any sort of constructed play, I don't think. But I think I'd like this guy for my cube, and a foil version is always nice. But what about our rare? Our rare is green. Avatar of the Resolute. Again, a solid limited card. Maybe not the best in Constructed, but solid limited, potentially cube playable. That's one of the first things that I look for in packs when I'm opening them. I'm not a huge Constructed player. I do play Standard here and there. I play at game days. I play at big events that come around. But week to week, I'm a limited player, so most of my cards that I'm looking for are cube playable cards. I'm looking for cards that are either powerful enough to go into a cube, or just interesting or fun enough to go into a cube. Maybe someday I'll do a video walking through my cube, kind of show you what's in it. But let's keep going. We have another foil, and it's a foil rare. Profaner of the Dead. Definitely cube playable, so I'm happy to see another foil, especially in rare. And our actual rare is awful. Volcanic Vision. I don't like that card. I think it's just all kinds of bad. But yeah, let's keep going. Well, we finally got a dragon in Dragons of Tarkir. We got Sunscorch Regent, which I think is the best of the monocolored... actually, no, sorry, I think Icefall Regent's the best of the monocolored rare dragons, but this one's pretty darn solid as well. I see in the pack we also got an ultimate price, which is nice. Probably one of the better uncommons in the pack, or in the set, sorry. Profound Journey. Not that exciting. Kind of a bad card. It's far too expensive for what it does. In limited, in constructed, in everything. I don't really think I'd even put this in cube. I mean, it could help out Reanimator, but Reanimator wants to reanimate things for 2 mana, 3 mana, definitely not 7 mana, even if it gets to do it twice. But who knows? Maybe I'll think about it, but probably not. Next up, we get Illusory Gains. I was famously down on this in my set review. I didn't really like Illusory Gains. I didn't like how much control it gives to your opponent. I've since seen a number of people talk about how it's still mind control, and even a bad mind control is awesome. In limited, we're talking about always in limited. I still don't quite see it. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to play with this card or see it be played to really kind of get a handle on it, but I'm still in the camp of I don't really like it. Maybe if my opponent's top decking and I steal their bomb, it could be okay, but I just don't think this is as good as people are saying in limited. But I'm definitely excited to see myself be wrong with that. Another rare, we've got Bloodchin Fanatic, which for the longest time I thought was Bloodchain Fanatic. But no, it's Bloodchin Fanatic. I haven't had a chance to play this guy or see this guy. But he's another of the potential warrior deck enablers in Constructed, as well as Limited, of course. Seems like he could be good if you really build around him. I'm not sure how viable that's going to be in Limited exactly, but I think this could be a player if there does... pop up a warrior deck in Constructed. Well, there's the card we talked about an awful lot in the set review. We've got an Assault Formation, the Toughness Matters deck, which I talked about a lot because there's a lot of cards that seem to just sort of go into the Toughness Matters deck, and I just don't think it's really going to be a thing in Limited. I think it's something that's going to have to be done in Constructed. Whether it's going to be good or not, I don't really want to weigh in on that just yet, but I don't think it's going to be that great. Another dragon, we got Foe Razor Regent. This was the promo dragon, actually, if you managed to get 18 or more points on the Dragon Fury dice game, which I did not. I only got 13 points. My first throw, I got a whopping 2, so I didn't get this guy in promo, but I got him now. You know, he's okay. He's expensive for what he does, so I don't think he'll see constructed play really, but I think he's okay for other things. For Commander, of course, for sure. I would love to throw this guy into a Scion of the Ur Dragon deck. We got Den Protector, also known as Maternal Witness. Pretty solid creature. I think definitely cube playable. I think this will certainly just be in cube because it's just kind of a slightly more versatile Eternal Witness. It costs slightly less than Eternal Witness. It can be slightly bigger than Eternal Witness. It's got a mildly relevant ability. I think it could definitely see play in cube, so pretty happy to see that. Getting a lot of Jin Monk tokens. More important than that, we got a Zergo Bellshrieker. Zergo Bellshrieker, I think, is going to be pretty good in whatever sort of boss sly mono red aggro deck pops up this weekend and weekends coming. Terrible and limited. You know, this is an interesting card that people will often hear about as being good in constructed and assume, aha, it must be awesome in limited. I'm going to first pick this and it's going to be the best card in my deck, and it's just not. You know, in limited, this is just a fine card. It's going to attack for 2. That's all it's going to do. It's not going to do much else. In constructed, it's going to do a lot more because, you know, you're going to be finishing the game maybe on turn 4 or turn 5 in a good boss sly deck. But that's just not going to be something that happens in limited. So don't get that confused. Don't get constructed bombs confused for being limited bombs. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're really not. Next up we have a gross card, Hedonist's Trove. Again, a card not really destined for constructed or serious play. Just not that good. You know, your opponent's probably not going to have that many lands in their graveyard, so you're not going to be able to play those, which means unless you're sharing the colors with them, you're probably not going to be able to cast their spells either. And you only get to cast 1 a turn. Just not a good card. Another foil. We got Tygum's Strike. Looks fairly nice in foil. Not terribly playable, though. And our rare is Mr. Surrock the Hunt Caller. Very solid card there. 5/4 for 4 seems fine to me. A 5/4 for 4 with an upside seems even better. Well, we got another Maternal Witness, another Den Protector. Yeah, I'll take it. I'm fine and happy to see that. I'd prefer some variety in my rares, but hey, I'll take what I get. Profaner of the Dead. We already got a foil version. Now we've got a non-foil version. I had one of these in my pre-release decks, actually, and it did some work. The main thing to really remember is that it does bounce creatures with toughness less than the exploited creature's toughness, not less than or equal to. That definitely bit me a few times where I was about to exploit something and then realized it wasn't going to do quite what I wanted it to. Most cards like this are templated as equal to or less than. This one is templated as just less than. Yet another Jin Monk token. Yet another Volcanic Vision. We're repeating our rares here. I wish we were repeating better rares, though. Wow. Not a fan of a double Volcanic Vision in this box. Sunbringer's Torch. Not a card I'm terribly happy with. Bolster X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Well, on turn 4 or turn 5, you probably shouldn't have that many cards in your hand unless you're a control deck, in which case you're not going to be playing green, so not a big fan of that card. Next up, we've got Secure the Wastes. Now, this card I am a fan of. White X, get X 1/1 soldier tokens, or sorry, warrior tokens, that's much more important, at instant speed too, which is fantastic because you can play at end of your opponent's turn and then suddenly have an army of attackers. Again, if there's a warriors deck in constructed, this is going to be part of it for sure. Cube playable, commander playable, totally happy to see this. Another double rare, Blood Chin Fanatic yet again, so the warrior deck is apparently being built for me out of this box. We've only hit a single mythic so far. Statistically, there should be 3 or 4 per box. Here's one, and it's Dramoka, Dragon Lord Dramoka. Probably my favorite of all the Dragon Lords in general. I think Kolaghan probably might be a bit better constructed in standard, that is. I think Silumgar is fairly powerful, but I just like Dragon Lord Dramoka. I like that 5/7 flying lifelink. It's a solid ability. Definitely going in my Scion of the Ur Dragon deck. Could even potentially see a commander deck being built around her. Very happy to open her. Warrior token, haven't seen one of those just yet. And a Commune with Lava, another of the bad red rares. Red got the shaft kind of in this set. There's a lot of good white rares, a good number of good black rares, a number of good blue rares, a number of good green rares, and a ton of multicolored good rares. And then there's red, where there's a couple of good rares, and then the rest are bad, and I think this is one of the ones that's just bad, unfortunately. Next up, we've got Hidden Dragon Slayer. I'm a fan of Hidden Dragon Slayer. I think he's pretty good. He's good in all stages of the game. Early, late, behind, ahead. He's fantastic. 2/1 lifelinker for 2. You can megamorph him into a 3/2. When he unmorphs, you get to blow something up that's big. Seems fantastic. Very happy to see this. And just because they had to make him even better, he's a warrior. Next up, we've got rare, not a mythic, Silumgar's Command. Well, I like that command a whole heck of a lot better than I like Ojutai's Command. Yeah, the modes on this one are much better. Counter target non-creature spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand, target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn, destroy target planeswalker. I see myself using all of those pretty commonly in constructed. A lot of the other commands I really tend to see kind of one configuration that's going to be used the vast majority of the time. This one just seems to have a whole lot of other possibilities to use. Pack was a struggle to open. Unfortunately, inside of it is just a Blessed Reincarnation. Not the best card, but kind of fun removal. I could see myself maybe putting it in my cube as a bit of blue removal, although blue tends to be overpowered in everybody's cube, and mine's not a huge exception to that. Next up, we've got a foil Surge of Righteousness. That's the black and red color hoser, which I think may get some cube playability from me. Our rare. Alright, my camera decided that 19 minutes was a bit too much and it decided to shut off for some reason, so I think we missed this card. Our second Profound Journey. Not the best card, unfortunately. I believe we're down to maybe 6 packs left, so let's finish this up. Another Illusory Gains, getting a number of double rares in this box for a large set, which is kind of unfortunate, especially when they're not good rares like this. Arishan Sovereign, not the best rare. This dragon's interesting in that it's really, really, really hard to keep down unless you can exile it or something. Now, there are a billion exile effects running around in all sort of constructed formats, so ultimately I think this isn't the best of cards, but I could still see it maybe making its way into a Scion deck just as a removal bait, and if they don't have it, then a really, really good dragon. Oh, I lied. It looks like there's only 3 packs left. We've got a foil. We've got a foil Revealing Wind. Not cube playable, not anything playable. And we've also got a Myth Realized. Interesting card. There's some discussion as to whether or not it could see constructed play. I think it's possible on my completely uneducated opinion of constructed, but ultimately I think it might just be a bit too slow. Well, if we don't get a mythic in this pack or the last one, then our box has underperformed. We get a Foul Tongue, or sorry, not a Foul Tongue, just a Foul Renewal. Pretty solid removal, actually. Definitely cube playable, I think. Yeah, you're going to have creatures in your graveyard, and getting them back is fun. Getting them back plus removal is even better. Alright, last pack of this box. Let's see that mythic symbol. Well, there's a foil first up. We got a Dramoka Captain. Very annoying card. Very, very, very annoying card. If you're not prepared for it, it can really get out of control. Our last card is not a mythic. It's just a Collected Company. Wah, wah. Not the best of cards. I've seen some people brewing around it, but ultimately I don't think it's that great. By turn 4, by turn 5, I want to be doing something other than getting some 3-drops. Yeah, so anyways, that was my box. Wasn't super exciting, no planeswalkers, no huge value cards, but a bunch of stuff that I think might make it into cube. And I still got to go through the uncommons. Maybe there's some Dragon Lord Servants kicking around. I believe they're at about $1. Maybe some Lightning Berserkers, things like that. But yeah, that was my box. Definitely let me know what your box was like. Did you open any good money rares, any foil planeswalkers, anything like that? Definitely let me know if you enjoyed this, if you want to see these each release. I'll be very glad to do them because I have the boxes anyways. As always, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, let me know in the comments below. You can find me on Twitter as well at TheManaLeak. You can also find me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/TheManaLeak. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. And you've already found me here on YouTube. If you like the videos, make sure you click those little thumbs up icons. And as always, make sure you subscribe to my channel. That will keep you up to date on all the latest videos as they come out. The scheduled videos like Crack-A-Pack Thursdays, Wacky Wednesdays, and Spiky Saturdays, and unscheduled videos like these box openings, some special Crack-A-Packs that might be coming up, and other things like that. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, etc., let me know. Otherwise, I will see you all next time.